All right, welcome to the Explainer. Today we're going to crack the code on SaaS marketing. I'm talking about a simple but super powerful framework that can turn pretty much any SaaS business into a growth engine that just fuels itself.
So why does this even matter? Well, you just have to look at the numbers. The whole software as a service market, it's a total juggernaut. We're talking a projected $157 times billion-dollar industry. Now that is a huge opportunity for sure, but you know what that also means? A ton of competition.
And that brings us to really the million-dollar question for every single SaaS company out there. When you've got competitors popping up left and right, how do you actually stand out? How do you not just survive, but really thrive? Because let's be honest, having a great product isn't enough anymore. The real challenge is just getting noticed in this super crowded space.
Okay, so here's the game plan. We're going to start with that big challenge. Then I'll introduce you to a whole new way of thinking about growth. It's called the flywheel. We'll walk through each stage of this thing and see exactly how it builds that unstoppable momentum.
Right. So, the key to standing out. It's not that old, leaky sales funnel that everyone's so used to talking about. No, the modern way to do it is with a completely different model, known as the inbound flywheel. And trust me, it is a total game changer. And this is where you can really see that fundamental shift. Think about the old funnel. It's kind of like a one-way street, right? It loses energy as you go down, and then it just stops once you make a sale. But the flywheel, it puts the customer right smack in the middle. It creates this amazing cycle where your happy customers, they actually become the fuel for your future growth.
So how does this flywheel work? Well, it's got 4 key stages, and they all flow right into each other. You start by attracting people, then you engage them, you close them as customers, and then, and this is the magic part, you delight them. You make them so happy that they become promoters who go out and help you attract even more people. It's just this beautiful, self-sustaining loop. Okay, let's dive into that first stage and see how we get this thing spinning. It all starts with drawing the right people in. And the key here is you're not shouting at them with a sales pitch. You're pulling them in by offering them something genuinely valuable.
And one of the absolute best ways to do this is with a cool SEO strategy called topic clusters. So instead of just trying to rank for a bunch of random keywords, you build out this big main pillar page on a broad topic. Then you create a bunch of smaller, more detailed spoke articles that link back to it. What this does is it basically tells Google and other search engines, hey, we're the experts on this topic. And that, of course, helps the right people find you without you having to pay for ads.
Now, all this amazing content needs to live somewhere, right? And that's your website. Think of it as the central hub for your entire operation. Its number one job is to communicate your value proposition, build trust with things like testimonials, and then guide people to take that next step with really clear calls to action.
All right, so you've got their attention. You've engaged them with some great content. What's next? Well, now the goal is to nurture that interest and turn it into an actual decision, a decision to use your product.
And this brings up a really big strategic choice that a lot of SaaS companies have to make. Do you go with the freemium model, a free forever version to get a massive user base? Or do you go with a time-limited free trial to create a sense of urgency and show off all the cool features right away? Honestly, there are huge pros and cons to both approaches. But here's the secret sauce. No matter which path you choose, you can't just give someone a trial and then walk away. You have to actively nurture them. We're talking about automated emails, helpful in-app tips, things that constantly show them how valuable your product is and make that decision to finally subscribe a total no-brainer.
Okay, now we get to what I think is the most important stage of all. This is the part that really separates the old funnel from the flywheel. This is where you stop just thinking about keeping customers and you start turning them into an actual part of your marketing team. This is how you make that flywheel spin faster and faster. And this quote really just says it all, doesn't it? The journey doesn't end at the sale. It's not over when their credit card gets charged. In this flywheel model, a truly delighted customer, well, they become your single most powerful marketing asset. Their word of mouth, their good reviews, that's the force that pulls new people in. So how do you actually create that delight? It comes down to real, concrete actions, like helping new users become power users with great in-app tutorials, or celebrating their successes by sharing their stories. It means giving them an amazing self-serve knowledge base and having customer support that's just awesome. It's all about making them feel successful and valued long after you made that first sale.
Okay, so we've got attract, engage, close, and delight all working together. But what does this whole thing look like from a business point of view? I mean, how do you fuel this engine?
Well, this is where SaaS marketing gets really interesting, because financially, it's a completely different animal. You see, a typical company might spend, 7 to 10% of its revenue on marketing. But SaaS startups, get this, they often plow a staggering 40 to even over 100% of their revenue right back into growth.
And you might be wondering, how is that even possible? Well, it's because the economics of SaaS are just unique. Once the software is built, the cost to add one more customer is practically zero. So that frees up a ton of cash to go out and get new customers. Customers who are going to pay you back month after month, and hopefully year after year.
So let's wrap this up. The bottom line is this. Each stage of the flywheel feeds directly into the next, creating this incredible positive cycle. The end result isn't just a one-time sale. It's a genuine growth engine that actually lowers your churn, increases the lifetime value of your customers, and turns your happiest customers into your absolute best marketers.
And that leaves us with one last question to think about. I want you to really consider your own marketing. Are you building a funnel that you have to constantly pour new leads and money into just to keep it going? Or are you building a flywheel, an engine that, once you get it spinning, starts creating its own powerful, unstoppable momentum?